What's up, everybody? Summoner's War Update 628 is here. This is the update where we get the practice battlegrounds as well as the second awakened high elementals. I have been waiting for such a long time for this. So let's get it started. No face cam because I'm all bandaged up, so you don't need to see. Well, I mean, some of you are curious, but it looks like we don't need to torment anyone. Anyway, the actual update would be applied through auto update, etc., etc. Battle training ground, which we saw. We covered this in a brief video before. There's little quests that you can do. They give you the units that you're supposed to use to beat the enemy units, and then you get little goodies like crystals and mana and energy to do that, right? So level 21 or higher, the mock battle, and then win a battle, get a mystical scroll, win a battle within the specified number of turns, mana stones, battle within the specified number of turns, crystal times 50. So I don't know how often they're going to be adding these things in. I don't think it even says here, but yeah, we'll see how often it is, because that'd be a nice source of resources, right? So yep, there we go. And then we have the most important part, which isn't everyone the most excited about these high elementals? Maybe some people are like don't care that much about the high elementals, and some people care more about the practice training grounds. This thing though, oh my god, as someone that's been playing for 6 years and watching the same high elemental every single time they're ever being used, they look exactly the same. This is beautiful. The Comptos R team, I'll give them all the credit. They do a fantastic job. So this is wonderful. This is it's majestic. It's worth the wait. Okay. So second awakened high elemental for upgraded stats and skills. The upgraded stats are quite a big part of these high elementals. I know we say that for the other ones as well, but you know, we were playing around with them in the other video. I actually did another video after that too. And I'm like, man, these things are so squishy, they can never stay alive. They either have bad, like some of them have okay defense, but have terrible HP. Like the water one has terrible HP, but decent enough defense. But then the light one has good HP. It's like 10,000 HP, and then like 300 and whatever defense. So yeah, it's kind of hard, especially when you're trying to get as much damage output as possible to try to one-shot things. It's hard to keep these things alive. So yeah, those base stats are definitely going to make an improvement. So let's see what the new skills. We saw the light one. Let's see what the new skills. Let's see if they were what I speculated or even close. Cross attack is the same thing, continuous damage for 3 turns. Tectonic shift strikes an enemy with attack strong enough to split the earth, ignores the enemy's defense, inflicts significant damage. This looks like it's the exact same thing. Is this the exact same thing? Looks like it's probably the exact same thing. Maybe some more damage. God of Fire increases the attack power and attack speed of all allies for 2 turns. It already did that. Becomes invincible. Invincible for 2 turns. So this was a 1-turn invincibility. Now it's a 2-turn invincibility after that. So they basically just gave her better base stats, because she was so OP that I know I mentioned before. I was like, she's probably not going to get a big buff because she's already the most OP one. She gets just 1 extra turn of invincibility. That's it. Hey, sometimes it helps. Sometimes that extra invincibility turn helps. But yeah, that's really all she gets. And then the higher base stats, which, don't get me wrong, the higher base stats were definitely very nice. Water cross attack, the one that not too many people built. I have her on a couple different accounts. We actually just played with her yesterday or today, or I don't know what day it is. So she has the same first skill. Continuous damage 3 turns, 50% chance. Oh, actually, no, it's not. This cross attack for the fire one is continuous damage 3 turns. The cross attack for the water is only a 50% chance. So that's not even a 100% chance. Tectonic shift strikes the enemy with attack strong enough to split the earth, inflicting significant damage, ignores the enemy's defense, recovers the attack bar by 30% if the enemy gets defeated by this skill. That could be cool, a little bit of a buff. I didn't really think that the second skill was really going to get too buffed. I thought it was going to be a third skill that gets something. Ice Prison puts the enemy in Ice Prison, freezes the enemy for 2 turns, absorbs the attack bar by 30%. Not really quite. Actually, that's kind of similar to what not quite as what I expected, not quite what I had predicted. I predicted it was going to be either a strip into a freeze, which would have been very good, or a freeze and then reduce the attack gauge. So this is absorb the attack gauge, which is not quite reduce the attack gauge, but it reduces for them and then increases it for you, right? So it helps her cycle a little bit more, but it's a little different than what I had anticipated, but not too far, right? So the wind one is hot garbage. So let's see if the wind one actually gets anything worth anything. Hit the enemy with an energy blast, first skill, continuous damage for 3 turns, 50% chance, and then stuns the target with a 30% chance. Interesting. We'll see what the skill ups. We'll see what the skill ups are going to be on that situation. Continuous damage and stun. Okay, at least not bad. Soul split. So this soul split is not ignore defense. Pierces the enemy soul, disturbs HP recovery for 2 turns, and recovers 35% HP as the enemy dies. It's already not ignore defense, and it's a wind unit, and you got Copper and you got Lucian there that are kind of making it hard for her to be even meta. So let's see. Concentrate attack. Attacks the enemy. So that's not very exciting. Concentrate attack. Attacks the enemy with an ally at the same time with cross attack. You and the ally's attack will always land as a critical hit, and the ally's attack bar will be recovered by 30%. Is there any gimmick way we could use this? Because this is a team up, but I don't know. I don't know that there's... She doesn't seem that exciting, to be honest. I'm just being real. She doesn't seem that exciting. I was really hoping she was going to get a nice, solid buff, but she doesn't seem that exciting. Then we have the light one. Energy Blast inflicts continuous damage, 3 turns, 50% chance, which we already saw this in a previous one. Strikes the enemy with an attack strong enough to split the earth. Significant damage, ignores the enemy's defense. Recovers 15% of the inflicted damage. Regardless if it kills, this water one needs to recover attack bar if the enemy gets defeated. This one, even if it doesn't, it still recovers HP, right? And then with mystical blood transfusion. Sorry guys, I'm like, my face is all bandaged up, so I'm like, it's hard to talk. I apologize. Evens the HP ratios. This is a passive. Again, this is a passive, which in the first video I totally glanced on the fact that it's a passive, and then I came back to it in the next video. I was like, yo, by the way, forgot to mention that is a passive. So this happens every turn. Every time she gets a turn, evens the HP ratio of the ally target with the worst HP condition and recovers the target and your HP by 10% each at the start of each turn. So that could be pretty cool. I guess we will see. But I do like her. I do like this. It's crazy that's a passive now. But yeah, passive heal, kind of like Molly, but she also does ignore defense damage. So that could be pretty nasty. I want to see what her base stats wind up being after the Second Awakening. And then the Dark One. So Dark One is pretty doo-doo right now. Let's hope Dark One gets something nice. Hits the enemy with an energy blast. Continuous damage for 3 turns, 50% chance. Not very exciting. I mean, the one had a stun. The wind one had a stun. But Soul Split, this is kind of similar to the wind. Pierces the enemy's soul and disturbs enemy's HP recovery for 2 turns. Recovers the HP by 20% if the attack lands a critical hit. So, just damage and a little bit of a heal. Not super exciting. Bloodthirst, increase your critical rate for 3 turns. Attacks all enemies. That gets exciting. Okay, so this was a passive, actually. Now, it's no passive anymore. Now it's a skill. Increases your crit rate for 3 turns. AoE damage. Damage increases if the enemy's HP condition is good and recovers the HP by 20% of the inflicted damage if the attack lands as a critical hit. Interesting. And she's got a crit buff too, and she's got element neutral, and she also has a crit leader skill, so she's gonna be critting a lot with very little help. Damage increases if the enemy's HP condition is good and recovers the HP if the attack lands a critical hit. We'll see what the multiplier on this is, but that's pretty cool. That's at least a buff to the Dark One. I mean, some of them are less exciting than I was hoping for. I really didn't see the Kali getting too much of a buff. I felt like I wanted a little bit more from the Elena. I definitely wanted a little bit more from the Wind one, Moria. But yeah, I guess we'll play. I don't know. I mean, I really want to be like, oh wow, it's the best monsters in ever. I'm half excited that they get better base stats, and I'm half excited that they look cooler. And yeah, people are still going to play with Kali more than anything else, but it's interesting to see this dark one, so we'll see. And then we have this 20-dimensional hole energy refund thing from the event page. We always get that when we get new Second Awaken stuff. Then we have secret dungeon improvements for when you're in chat, request to enter. And then we have, what else? Yeah, just things for secret dungeons for early game players. This pops up just a little bit, and you don't have to like click through it anymore. For those of you that still do your rivals, you should do your rivals. It's free crystals. I know some people don't even do them. They're like, I don't care. I don't care about free crystals. And then we have new transmogs. So we'll take a look at the new transmogs later. This is just some little improvements there. Yeah, those are just some little improvements. This is a little improvement for mana, so you can buy more than one at a time if you want to buy a whole bunch of mana. Then there's little bug fixes. That's it, I think. And this is just a modified description. This is not changing them. So yeah. Right. Yeah, so all in all, we'll take a look at these transmogs later, even though half the transmogs are not for units that are being used too much right now. Art Masters and Beast Riders. And then there we go. And then I don't know if that's really going to make... Because we got to think, is this going to make... Like, where are these going to be used? Are these going to be used in guild content, or are they going to be used in arena offense, in arena defense? Probably not in arena defense at all. Probably not in maybe in arena offense like the Kali, because she was already a thing you could use in arena offense before. But maybe guild content, I would guess. I don't know. I don't think these are going to be super meta. Because some of them like the Fire Grim Reaper with the extra continuous damage became super meta. Lulu got better with the cleanse of the immunity. The Inugamis teaming up, and Crow doing so much more damage. Like, all that stuff got meta, but you don't really know until you play with it and you see how much damage these things hit for. Maybe there'll be a cool gimmick that we find out later on down the line, but I like this Bloodthirst that it does AoE crit buff and then AoE damage. So that could be cool. Maybe I'll build her on the main. That might be... I don't know, maybe I'll build her first on the main just to see it. Whatever. Anyway, that's it for this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Were you hoping for more? I know you're always hoping for more, right? Were you hoping for more? Or are you happy with what they have and you have some cool ideas on what you want to do with it? Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoy. I'm like losing my voice again. This is like every time I get on the microphone, I lose my voice. Anyway, I will see you as always in the next one.